Okay, this is actually just a video about preparation. So these are potatoes. And if I let them go bad, then it's a potential threat to my potential good mood. So now I've also been given tomatoes. So what I learned is, if you have the food, you gotta make use of it. And this is one of the cooking essentials that I first have to implement into my own life. And then simply keep these videos inspirational. So to never get sucked into this, I need to give my audience something. And then people try to give them something they clearly are not. So partly of what my content has been about and still is about is using what you have. I can only draw from the skills that I have honed, right? Because it needs to be, I can only give what I have. And if I have like a bad temper today, then, if you want to spend time in my presence, then that's what you're gonna get. I'm gonna be a bit grumpy. And so, right, if I'm silent, it's probably best to just keep your distance. Because people can piss me off. Or I realize, I think you've had enough. Come back in a month. Or just do it yourself. Don't act like you've got something if you got nothing. We're talking about parents that suck their children dry. That's what we are trying to overcome. Getting away from using children to make yourself feel better. It's disgusting. But that's what everyone does. And that's what I am trying also to raise awareness for in a somewhat creative way. By just talking about it. How parents use their children to get off on it. Because we are all energetic beings. And apparently there are ways that you can extract energy from other people. I don't know how that works. But, if you're in depression, you can actually use others to just, right? I don't know. How does it work? Well, I don't know. I just know that people do this. And it's depending on where you channel your energy. I don't know what other people do with their energy. Well, you can clearly see that most people are really selfish. And I realized I'm just going to change it for myself. I'm just going to change it for myself. So right now I have this to give because that's what I'm dealing with at the moment, trying to figure out, what's palpable. Also dietary. Right? It's like, yeah, sure, it's all energy. Do eggs make me sick? Does meat make me sick? Well, I do feel better if I mostly eat vegetarian, and if I feel like I'm struggling like a bit too much, and my body needs something else, then I will find the kind of meat that will work for me. So I feel like pork is not really the thing, but if I eat pork, I would probably prepare it myself so that I can focus on healing. Because I know how to prepare meat for myself. There's people that have weird motivations when they cook. My motivation is to stay alive, to do what I like, and to see where to go. I do realize that there are ways now to suck other people dry. And there's people I simply keep away from myself because it's not maintainable. But in a certain way, part of sadhana is also making yourself available and just doing what you can. But yeah, you also have to look at your parents. How are they doing? What's happening? I mean, they were the ones that raised you. Right. So whatever you think of your parents is your homework to balance, right? It's not about, oh, you know, you're the best there is. And it's not about, you're the worst there is. It's about, you know, whatever you are, you know, you're here and I'm here and somehow we're connected. And so I rather learn to deal with this than to run around like that angry child that pesters nature with its problems. You know, you can just go hiking. I mean, okay, rather pester nature by hiking and then find balance in yourself by actually engaging with yourself than to sit around being miserable and waiting for someone to rescue you. Are you the damsel in distress? You know, are you trapped in some kind of like a tower? Oh, please rescue me. You know, who's the prince who's gonna come for you? Sonny? You know? Transgender is gonna have your balls. So what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, you know? Are you gonna convince everyone that you probably should be a woman just because you're afraid to take responsibility for yourself? Yeah, they're gonna have your balls, man. They're gonna have your wiener. They're gonna put it in a bag and then put it onto someone else probably. You know, and then you can just exchange organs instead of taking responsibility for having been born with the appendages of what we call a man, which is just something. You know, this is how far labels can get you. You know, I'm this, I'm that. I'm here. I've got one side, there's the other side, but I've got both sides in myself. So there's no need to propagate. You know, I can propagate also by sharing my ideas. It's a form of propagation. So, you know, what's this whole thing about, you know, you're this, you're that, I need this label. No, this label is not enough for me, I need another label. Well, I've got a label for you, you're weak. And you should, you know, go hiking, you know. You should get back to nature. You're just trying to pretend like, you know, it's the next level of pretense. You know, faking reality, goggles right in front of your face because the TV was never, it's not close enough. I need to get closer to the experience of faking reality, so I'll buy some virtual reality goggles. You know, you could instead, you could just go hiking, you know, that's as close as reality will ever become. You know, like hard-on relationship. That's the closest thing to reality you'll ever have, you know. Your wife screaming at you, "Why won't you love me?" But she won't say that. She will not say, "Why won't you love me?" What your wife will say is, right? "Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" But what she actually says is, "Why won't you love me?" Yeah, and then the question is, how bad does she want to know if you really love her? Well, she can only find that out if she actually sticks to you. Because if she runs around to other men, she will never know how much you could have loved her. And then it's a question of, did she really want me? Or just someone? And even women have to make choices which man to love. And so do men. So in that sense, yeah, we are in a way the same. And if there were no men, then women would have to, you know, still get by on their own. And we're living in a world where confusion is being used to, you know, leech on you. You know, the ticks, the ticks stay on. The ticks stay on as long as you are unaware. I mean, if you can give, then give to the people who kind of matter. You know, it's like friendship, family, but I'm very selective with my friends because I'm like hard-earned love, right? If you want to play with me, you know, you gotta do your homework because I'm doing it. And if you're not doing your homework, I'm just gonna get bored because then you're just stuck. And if I hate one thing, it's people who are stuck. So I'm just pushing people through to the next level, right? I mean, there's no way if I would ever have a shop that, you know, the girl in there would wear shirts and a top with the cleavage to her navel. I mean, that's just unthinkable. You know, proper clothing, you know, what you wear is in that sense, you know, but it has to, you have to be covered. It has to be respect, you know. I don't want to come to your shop just because you're dressed lightly. You know, I don't want you to, you know, fake interest just to get attention. You know, give attention to yourself if you're craving it. You know, I need to also focus then on my potential family. So, but until that's there, you know, I'm here. No, I'm here, I'm doing this, you know, I'm doing the best I can. Yeah, then do it. And then keep on doing it until you've done it enough and you feel like, maybe it's time to leave. And then something comes and says, but I still wanted to spend time with you. Oh yeah, you never said it. Yeah, but I did. You just never heard me. It's like, oh wow, do I want to spend time with this being? Well, possibly. Okay, I'll just make art until she has the balls to show her face. No, I'm just saying, story of my life, you know. Where is this all gonna go? Where is it all gonna lead? What are we going to do? What's the meaning of life, you know? Now just take a knife, take some food, start cooking, you know. That's the meaning of life, being creative. The actual creative process, the actual, you know, I can do this, you know, I think I can do this, well then do it. Oh yeah, I might, you know, I might just do it, well then go and do it. Yeah, you'll see, I'll do it. Well, why aren't you doing it? Because I'm busy talking about it. But you're supposed to be doing it, not talk about it. Are you some politician? No, I'm not a politician. Well, why do you behave like one? Are you an actor? Are you an actress? Do I have to give you the script for your life and so you learn it by heart and just cling to the words instead of actually doing it? Well, I'm not sure what you're trying to hint on. Well, I'm hinting on the fact that you're still standing around talking about doing something, but you actually do nothing. You know, I stand here, I make food, and I actually engage in the community in the way that I find most meaningful. Whatever gives meaning to your life, well, what gives meaning to my life? Well, you gotta figure that out. You know, for me, it's actually, you know, was finding my wife, and then I found her, and then she rejected me, and that pissed me off so much that I just said, you know what, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you that I'm the best there is. For you. Nobody will replace me. But at the same time, you know, I'm still alone here, facing loneliness until she thinks, oh, maybe he's ready now. Well, I'm already ready, you know, since the day you met me. You chickened out. You ran away. You wanted to be somewhere else because you thought you weren't enough. Well, we could have figured it out together. But now I'm here and I'm doing things. You know, and that's emotional stuff, you know. Whether you understand this or not is actually none of my business. But it's just what I'm saying, you know. I'm living my life, I'm taking responsibility of the things that I thought I wanted and that were then kind of like taken away. Because maybe I was too toxic, and maybe she was. And maybe it's all just in my imagination, but whatever it is, it somehow keeps me going, and I'm working towards, you know, realizing my life. So part of my life is also about just doing it on my own. And right, just holding my space. And then I can say, well, what's a woman? Well, I don't know, right? I mean, sex is less important than people think. Because it's just the materialistic approach to cling to sex. But it is nice, of course. It's a form of communication. But I don't talk with everyone. I also don't sleep with everyone. And that's the message, that's kind of like the mission. You know, I don't talk with everyone, I don't play frisbee with everyone. So I sure as hell won't kiss everyone. You know, at one point you've tested kissing enough, and then you have to say, now I've got herpes. I wonder why. Well, because you don't know what people carry. You know, if you want to really get to know someone, then you have to take your time. And then you do things together. And then you get to know each other. But if there's nobody there to get to know, well, then you get to know yourself. Wow, amazing! Isn't that simple? Well, it almost seems that way. You know, this is like you've got something and then you make something else out of it. This is, you know, you can pre-cook potatoes and then you work with the energy of the day. Oh, the energy of the day. Look how fancy he's talking. The energy of the day. What's the energy of the day? Well, it's whatever you got today. Holy smokes. Now what am I supposed to do? This needs to be eaten. And now I've made this, so now I have two things. But this needs to be eaten. Because otherwise it will go bad. So it's also about taking responsibility. And responsibility is the ability to respond to whatever is happening in your life. So if you're unhappy and you fail to respond to it, well then you will create more unhappiness. You need to actually actively choose something for yourself. And then you're probably somewhere, you know, you just do inception to yourself by looking at your life. And then you don't have to have a SWAT team entering your mind through some weird dream thing. You know, you just look at your life and ask yourself what you want, and then you just do it. You know, that guy could have come to the realization by himself. You know, I need to do something for myself. And that's then how you stop. Wow, it's super spicy.
It's super spicy.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Super spicy, tasty food. Super spicy, tasty food.
You know, I can like fool around, but I'm making food and I'm planning my day and I'm getting used to, you know, being full of energy. Which is what happens if you no longer use yourself. So you start investing the energy. Oh, a home-cooked meal.
It's just so delicious.
Oh, this is delicious. If only you could cook as well as I can, you know. Or you could see it as an actual challenge. I want to be the best cook that I can be. You know, you don't have to be better than me. You don't have to be like someone else. You just have to be as good as you can be. And I'll challenge you to do that. Right? I'll challenge you to do that. Oh, now I'm getting... Because chili activates your think like the inner fire, right? So you can lead a good life and spark yourself with spices. You actually have to want it, man. You have to want it.
You have to want it.
You have to want it. And then you see where you land. Yeah.